TaxAct is here anytime you want to easily file your taxes. TaxAct is here for the early birds who like to knock them out as soon as the season opens. And for the procrastinators who like to wait until the very last minute. TaxAct is also here for the middlers who file right in the middle of tax season. No one ever talks about the middlers, but TaxAct sees you, and TaxAct respects you. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Excuse me! Taxi! What are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And you guys, obviously a huge story coming out of Tucson. They have found a black glove that is similar, at least, to the one that the attacker had in that video that we all saw tied to the Nancy Guthrie case. Who better than to join us now to talk about all of this than Morgan Wright? He is the CEO and founder of the National Center for Open and Unsolved Cases. He's also a host of Reconstructed Substack and podcast. Morgan, longtime law enforcement. I've been watching you the last few days. You have been so on it about this surveillance footage that they put out that was unbelievably clear, that we got to see the digitally enhanced version from that doorbell cam. And now they've found a glove. Explain how significant this could be and how tough that is to do a match like that.
Well, hey, thank you, John and Rita, for having me on. Here's the significance of it. Well, first of all, there's a lot of conditions, right? So let's say if this glove is tied to that, it will be hard to know if the glove is tied to, because we don't have donor DNA to compare it against. But they would be able to get hopefully they'll be able to get DNA off of it. I saw the video from the New York Post posted. It looked like it was fairly pristine, hadn't been trampled on. If that glove is tied to the perpetrator, the other thing it's going to tell you is direction to travel. And thank you for promoting my Substack. I put actually an article on there called Egress Analysis, for Nancy Guthrie, to say, what are the potential routes that somebody leaving would go to get to major thoroughfares to egress out of there? And where it was found, they said it was about 1.5 miles. It looks like it's southeast of there, so that means they're going down to River Road. So now you get a direction to travel. Now, if you can narrow down the direction to travel, it means from looking at cell sites, looking at signals from apps that's called ad tech, looking at businesses along that route now that have cameras. You can now start narrowing down with precision where you're looking for, and knowing that they found the glove about 1.5 miles from her home.
All the people listening, we got maybe a million people listening. Was there any more messages today?
Well, there's the letter. We know that TMZ got a letter, by the way. They got a letter saying, hey, I got a tip if you want to pay me X. But I haven't heard anything on the family, Morgan. And Morgan's more technically related because you're not there in Tucson, right, Morgan?
Actually, I will be out there tomorrow. Fox is flying me out, so I will be on the ground Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday. Hey,
Morgan, real quick, you know what you triggered too, because you brought up the glove. I'm looking at it. I saw earlier today that they went out quickly to this area, and it looks like it's the area where they found the glove. And my question to you is, did they get some sort of, you're great on all this technology stuff. Did they get some sort of hit on maybe the camera after it was pulled, or did they get some what brought them to that area to look there? Because it looks like they were looking in that area and then they discovered this. So I'm curious, what technology is sort of out there that the FBI, the best of the best, is using to track down this case?
I don't want to pierce your bubble, but it's just good old-fashioned detective work, shoe leather. We used to call it Goya cod, get off your ass, knock on doors. So, they're doing what you should be doing is driving down the road, looking in the ditches, starting at the house is a system. The house is the central part of this event generator. It's a system. So to work a system, you work outward. You start from an end point and you work out. Well, what they did is you start taking all of these streets, and Rita and John, that area out there, it looks like, you take a bowl of spaghetti and turn it upside down. The roads all go, but at some point they start getting to the Campbell Avenue and River Road and things like that. It starts getting down to the point of where they have some coherence to them, right? So as you start to get out there, then you start looking to say, okay, what would I do? You have to think, too, it's called windthropping. It's what the UK counterterrorism used to do with the IRA. They say, how does the offender think about it when they're hiding weapons, right? So if I'm somebody that's just kidnapped somebody or been involved in something very violent, what am I going to do? Well, you start getting rid of evidence potentially. So where would I do it? Driving down the road, throw it out. Now, here's the one observation I had. Based on where the glove was found, which was on the west side of the road as you're looking south, if that's the case, if it came out through the passenger window, it would mean if there was only one person in there, they'd have to roll down the passenger window and throw it out. But it supports, at least right now, a hypothesis that there are two people in the vehicle.
That's big.
One
That's
driving,
big.
one throwing the gloves out.
Yeah, that's big. So there could have been somebody. I have a $64 million question. What about cameras inside the house? Is there potentially other footage out there that they just haven't released to us?
If they have it, so that's the big if, right? This was very difficult to find. 26 years ago, I trained the FBI, spent a year training them on internet investigations. The student is now the master. So it was, I'm telling you, it's like lighting a match, trying to find a needle hidden in a dark forest in the middle of the night with no moon. So to find a second set of video, second clump of video, that's going to be extremely difficult. If they found it, I would not release it. If I was the FBI, I wouldn't release it. Here's why. It doesn't add anything to the public discourse. You've got a picture of the suspect. That's what you need. You don't really want a picture of any violent confrontation. Unless there's something in there they can zero in that would uniquely identify this offender, then I would release that. But it's going to be interesting to know from the evidence how this confrontation happened, because at 2:10, her pacemaker was still pinging, so she had to be within 10 to 20 feet of her phone. But I'd like to know from the telemetry, was her heart beating normally, or was it elevated? Was she already in extremis, under duress? Then 2:28, it was gone. So now you can figure out it's going to take you about 6-7 minutes to drive that 1.5 miles. So we now have a pretty good window of time.
Yeah, wow, big stuff. Morgan, keep us posted. You're going down there tomorrow, so let us know. Please keep posted. We'd love to have you as this case develops. Thank you.
You bet, Rita. John, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.